Guys, it's Leah. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to my favourite video to film every month, where my TBR jar picks what I'm going to be reading for March. I'm not gonna lie, this month I'm even more excited than normal because last night I asked you guys for some more TBR jar prompts and I added so many new ones. Some are kind of crazy, some I am terrified to pick out, but I feel like it's going to be even more fun this month. So I think I'm going to pick out 10 prompts. I have been having a really good reading year so far this year, so I feel like we should carry that on by trying to pick 10. You guys know the drill by now, so let's get straight into it. Okay, let's actually shake this first. Oh my god, I'm so nervous after all of the ones that I put in last night. For the first prompt, let's go for this one, and this one is okay, that's fun. This one is judge a book by its cover. This is a new one, and this one is kind of like a free pick because I'm just going to be picking the cover that I like kind of the most, and this is so subjective. There are so many covers here that I'm sure I'm absolutely obsessed with, so honestly I could kind of go for any of them. I kind of wish this wasn't the first prompt because I feel like it's a free pick, and towards the end of the video I could pick a book that I know I wanted to read. So judge a book by its cover. Some covers that I feel like I love. I mean, we have this very loot edition of Feybound by Sarah El Arafi, and obviously like this is absolutely gorgeous. I feel like judging a cover, this would definitely have to be an option. Saying that, I also absolutely adore the Masters of Death cover. This is the Waterstones exclusive with the sprayed edges, but I love this. I love the green. I love how gothic it looks, and I have been wanting to get to this one for a really long time. I've really been wanting to read some more Olivia Blake, so another option. Oh my god, stop. Actually, Modern Divination by Isabel Agajanyan. If you have watched all of my TBR jar picks what I read for whatever month videos, you would know that this has been on my TBR cart every single month and I have not picked it out once, and I've been fighting for my life to get a chance to pick it out. This is one of my favorite covers ever. This is an indie published book and I'm absolutely obsessed. And also, if you think that's not beautiful enough, look at the naked hardback. I have been trying for so long to get this onto a TBR, and I am in the biggest fantasy mood of my entire life at the minute, so I feel like adding a fantasy. This is also Academic Rivals to Lovers. I've been craving that. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity and I can't really pass it up. I've been wanting to read it for so long. Therefore, for judge a book by its cover, we're gonna go for Modern Divination. Oh my god, it's about time that is added onto a TBR. This is off to a great start. Okay, for prompt 2, let's go for this one. This one is another big one, and this one is a book from my 24 for 2024 list. Off the top of my head, I can't really remember what is on the list. I don't even know if I have any on the list on this month's like TBR cart. My TBR is a lot bigger than my TBR cart, but every month I choose certain books to put on my TBR cart, ones that I'm terrified to read, ones that I definitely want to get to. I always tend to put a big array, but obviously my TBR is extended more than that. They just wouldn't all fit on the TBR cart. Going on my Notion, let's find my 24 books for 2024 list. Oh my god, okay, there are actually a couple on here, so this is my list. Obviously you're not going to be able to see it, but a couple of the books that are on this list and are also on my TBR cart include Life Ceremony by Sayaka Murata. I very recently finally finished Earthlings by Sayaka Murata, and oh my fucking god, what a weird book. So weird, so disturbing, so wonderful in places. Sayaka Murata's writing was absolutely astounding, and now I want to read every single thing that she's written that I haven't read yet, and I'm pretty sure this is the only one, so we could go for this. This is a short story collection. Another one that is on my list is Death in Her Hands by Tessa Moshfegh. This year I really want to finish off reading Tessa Moshfegh's backlist. I only have this one and Death in Her Hand. No, this is Death in Her Hands. I only have this one and Homesick for Another World, which was on my TBR, I think, for January, and I didn't get to it. But this one is on the list, so this is another option. Oh my god, we also have A Little Luck by Claudia Pinheiro. You're actually joking me. Modern Divination was also on there, so really I've just literally up that entire pick. I could have picked something else for that. Modern Divination, so we're actually killing two birds with one stone. Oh my god, and also The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Miss Mariana Zapata is on my 24 books for 2024 list. From this, we have 4 books that I could choose from this month. We technically have like 3 literary fictions and 1 romance. I haven't actually read an adult fiction, literary fiction for so long, and I do kind of want to go back to my roots a little bit, so I feel like as much as I do want to read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, I feel like there's more chance that I will want to pick it for a different prompt, so we're going to go for one of these 3. And right now I feel like I'm in the mood for an Tessa Moshfegh, so we'll go for Death in Her Hands. Okay, and the third prompt we'll go for, oh my god, I've picked up 2. Okay, which one should we go for? We'll go for the small one. Look how tiny that is. Oh my god, I don't even know what that could say. This one is a hardback. Okay, so a hardback book. We definitely don't have too many options. All of them are actually kind of like fantasy or literary fiction. So for hardback down here we have Ordinary Human Failings by Megan Nolan. I still cannot believe that I haven't read this yet. I adored Acts of Desperation by Megan Nolan. This one is incredibly short and I do want to get to this one somewhat soon, so I could go for that. I'm going to move this up a little bit because you can't even see, but we also have Fae-bound Masters of Death, Atlas 6 also by Olivia Blake, and Green Dot by Madeline Gray. This is one of the most recent additions onto my bookshelves, a literary fiction, a new release. I'm really excited for that. Meant to be like Sally Rooney meets Fleabag. Sign me up. But honestly, what I think I'm gonna go for, oh my god, I'm stuck between Fae-bound and the Atlas 6. I cannot tell you how long this has been on my TBR for. We're talking like when it was first published. Obviously this is the Waterstones exclusive edition. I got this when it was first published. Still haven't read it. I can't believe I haven't read this series yet. It's one that's been on my radar, obviously also on my TBR. I'm just nervous. I've heard great things about this, but equally I've heard such mixed things about the entire series. I don't really know what to expect going into it, but it is one that I definitely want to get to somewhat soon. So by that knowledge and the fact that it has also been on my TBR for 2-3 years, let's go for the Atlas 6. I feel like I might regret saying that, but we'll go for the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake finally. For the fourth prompt we'll go for this one, and this one is a long one. A Goodreads rating over 4.3 stars. I feel like we're going to be very limited for option here, so let's go on to Goodreads. I feel like my thinking with this one is that if a book is over 4.3 stars on Goodreads, that means it's really obviously highly rated, so I have more chance of liking it. But I feel like there aren't really going to be that many books, so I'm honestly just going to go on my physical TBR tab and we'll see if any of the books on my TBR cart are over 4.3. If not, I guess we're gonna have to resort to the rest of my TBR. Okay, maybe the easiest way to do it is we're just gonna go through them one by one, as in I will search on Goodreads the titles one by one, and the first one that is over 4.3 stars I will have to read. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like Fae-bound, because I've seen everyone talking about it recently, I know it's a really new release, could be that high, so like it could actually be the first book that I actually look for. Okay, so clicking on Fae-bound. Okay, the rating is 3.79, so definitely not 4.3. This is going to be quite hard. Also, I'm really sorry if the lighting keeps changing. It is a really gloomy day in the UK today, so please ignore that. Next we have Masters of Death. I really don't feel like this is going to be over 4.3 stars, but we might be surprised. 3.79 again. Blue Sisters by Coco Mellows definitely could, because the book's not even out yet and it's a proof, and I feel like a lot of the people who receive proofs are ones that like her writing. So this one is 4.53. Okay, I guess we're reading Blue Sisters. Blue Sisters by Coco Mellows. Coco Mellows obviously wrote Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I read that when it was first published and I really enjoyed it. I don't really know too much about this one at all. All I really know is that it follows sisters, and I love literary fiction that has the commentary surrounding family and sister relationships and women. And because I did like her writing in Cleopatra and Frankenstein, I feel like I could really like this. So I'm kind of nervous for this one actually, but it's good to tick off another proof. So we have Blue Sisters by Coco Mellows. Okay, halfway there, onto the fifth prompt. Let's go for this one. Oh god, this one is kind of open and it's also quite a big one. I've never picked this one out before. Rory Gilmore reading challenge. There is basically this challenge that people have made where they list every single book that Rory read in Gilmore Girls, and you can basically tick off all of the ones that you've already read, all of the ones that you haven't read. And somebody actually sent me this prompt and I thought it was genius. I can go through the Rory Gilmore challenge and see what I've already read, what I haven't read, and if any of the ones I haven't read are on my physical TBR. I like to hope that I'm a bit of a classics girly. I adore classics, so I feel like there definitely are going to be some on my TBR that I haven't read yet, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for a classic. I'm really in a fantasy mood, and I can't imagine Rory Gilmore read tons of fantasies that are on my physical TBR, I'm not gonna lie. So yet again, resorting to my phone, let's go on the Rory Gilmore reading challenge and let's see what I haven't read. I'm just gonna go for the first one that I scroll upon. I do think it is in alphabetical order, but I'm gonna go through the entire thing until I see one that is on my TBR that I haven't read yet. And again, it will have to be the one that I read. I feel like this month we are having no options. Okay, scrolling through the Rory Gilmore challenge, let's see what the first one I see is that is on my TBR that I haven't read yet. I don't own The Bell Jar, though that one I feel like would have been really close. Do I own Beloved? Oh my god, no I don't. I only own The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I genuinely thought I kind of owned that book already. Don't own that. Brave New World I've already read, so that doesn't count. Okay, I feel like this is a little bit harder than I initially thought. I don't own any of those. I've read A Clockwork Orange. Okay, this is hard. Oh my god. Do I own Emma by Jane Austen? Oh my god, I don't know if I own that. Let me have a quick look. Don't. I only own Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion. That could have been the first opportunity I had to ever read Jane Austen. I've never read from her before. but I guess now's not the time. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley I own, but I have already read it. What am I gonna... Okay, guys, I'm going to be reading The Great Gatsby. I've never read The Great Gatsby before. I own this gorgeous edition, but I also own, I don't know if you can see it, this book here is a copy of the manuscript, and I absolutely love all of their books. I'll leave them actually linked down below, not sponsored, absolutely wish it was. I actually got The Great Gatsby one from winning a giveaway, but the Jane Eyre one was very kindly gifted to me, but I love them with my entire heart and soul. I think they are like the most beautiful things ever, so I do technically own 2 copies of The Great Gatsby. I've never read it. It's one of my best friend's favourite books. I've always obviously wanted to read it, I've just never gotten around to it. I don't know if I'm in the mood to read it. I'm kind of scared because it's one that I kind of wanted to read at the right time, but at this point, when is the right time? So I suppose I'm going to be reading The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Finally, this was really weird to say. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. The range that we already have this month. Going on to the 6th prompt, I kind of want a light-hearted book, another fantasy or a romance or... oh my god, I don't know. For the 6th prompt, we'll go... okay, I was going to go for that one, but one literally jumped out at me, so we'll go for that one. And this one is yellow on the cover. We're really getting no choice this month. Okay, of course, there's one book here that has yellow on the cover. I'll look more in depth in a second, but the book that is obviously very yellow is Die My Love by Ariana Howicks. I'm actually not too mad if this is the only one that I can read. This is a very short translated fiction. I feel like I'm gonna absolutely love it. Another one of my best friends has read this. She said that I would absolutely love it and adore it, so I'm very excited to read it. I feel like I am going to absolutely eat it up and I'm going to read it so quick. So I'm not going to be mad if I have to read this one, but just in case. Yellow on the cover. I suppose The Wall of Winnipeg and Me has yellow, but I feel like that's kind of cheating. A Little Luck by Claudia Pinheiro kind of has yellow. Honestly, I feel like my options are extremely limited. I feel like we kind of have to go for Die My Love. We only have 3 more books to add onto my TBR. The 7th one is going to be this one. This is another short one, and you're fucking joking me. This one is a translated fiction. I could have chose that one. Oh my god, a translated fiction. I should really be happy. Like most months, this is all I want to read, but not this month. I don't have any fantasy like translated books on my TBR. Okay, a translated fiction. Obviously, we could go with my pride and joy, Clarice Lispector. The next one that I need to read is The Apple in the Dark by her. I am terrified, as always, to go into another one of her novels, but again, I love her so much. She is my favourite author, so I will never be mad to read one of hers. That is definitely an option. We also obviously have Life Ceremony by Siaka Murata, A Little Luck by Claudia Pinheiro. Oh my god, actually we could also do Orlando by Jacqueline Hartman. Jacqueline Hartman wrote I Who Have Never Known Men, another one of my all-time favourite books. I believe that this is the only other book by her that has been translated into English, and I obviously really want to get to this one, especially because of how much I loved I Who Have Never Known Men and her writing. We could go for that one. Oh my god, I'm kind of stuck. I don't know which one to go for. My heart is kind of wanting to say obviously Clarice Lispector, but I don't know because I am reading her collected stories right now, her complete stories. That includes every single short story she's ever written. So I am actually currently reading a Clarice Lispector, and that's like 700 pages. So I don't know if I want to kind of read them at the same time. I'm kind of leaning towards Life Ceremony by Siaka Murata. Obviously it is on my 24 books to read in 2024, but also I'm really intrigued to read some more from her, so we could go for that one. Actually, yeah, we're gonna go for Life Ceremony by Siaka Murata. Going on to the 8th prompt, let's pick, I think, oh my god, let's go for this one. This one's tiny. This has to be a new one because it's folded up so nicely. This one is oh my god, bless the Lord. This one is Enemies to Lovers. I don't even know if there are any Enemies to Lover books on here, but I feel like that could be a good chance to read a fantasy. So going for the fantasy books on my TBR, we have Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This is one of the books on my TBR I am most excited to read, most anticipated to love, and potentially rate 5 stars. And because I'm in the biggest fantasy mood ever, it's kind of all I want to read. Okay, I'm going to read the blurb and see if there is Enemies to Lovers. Okay, from that I have no idea, so I'm going to quickly check Goodreads. I'm going to fight for my life to read this book in March. Okay, someone has put Enemies to Lovers in their Goodreads review. That is all I need to know. If one person says it's Enemies to Lovers, I'm going to assume it's Enemies to Lovers, and I'm obviously going to pick it. I'm finally going to read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I could cry. I am so excited for this book. That alone has made me so excited for this TBR. Like, that's all I wanted from this video, I'm not going to lie. On to the 9th prompt, let's go for this one. And this one is, oh my god, another long one. Author's name, first or last, begins with a C. I think we did this one because my surname begins with a C, so an author's name, first or last, who begins with a C. I don't know how likely this is going to be possible, but okay. We do have Chloe Gong. How could I forget Clarice Lispector? We literally have the same initials inverted. Oh my god, I've just realised we literally have the same initials but inverted. I love that for me. Clarice Lispector, CLLC. I feel like that's the most perfect match in the world. I think that's it. So we either have Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong or The Apple in the Dark by Clarice Lispector. Without a doubt, I would go Clarice Lispector, but because I am reading her complete stories and I don't really want to read 2 books from her at the same time because I really want to savour them and like consume them all separately, I don't know if I should go for that one. But Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong has been on my TBR since it was first published. I even got the proof. This is the proof copy. I still haven't read it. I've heard such mixed things, but again, I am in my fantasy mood, so I could do this. It kind of pains me, but solely because I am already technically reading a Clarice Lispector. I am going to go for Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. I told myself I was unhauling this book so many months ago, but I've been holding onto it just in case I decided I ever wanted to get to it. I feel like without choosing it for a TBR video and literally being forced to read it, I never will. So let's go for Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. So on to the last prompt. We have one more book to choose for my March TBR, and let's go for, oh my god, I'm really trying to mix these. Why is there always so much pressure for the last one? Let's go for this one. Oh my god, no, this one's open. It is a Kindle book. That is essentially a free pick in my eyes. Any book that I already have on my Kindle is kind of how I think I'm going to do this. And this is also perfect because my Kindle is very new. I only got it like not even a month ago. Adding this prompt into the jar brought me so much joy, and I love the fact that we've actually picked it. The book that I have on my Kindle, I definitely have a couple of romances that I could choose if I wanted to. But based on what is already on my TBR cart and the fact that I do also have this on my Kindle, I feel like it's the perfect option. I do also want to add a thriller to my TBR for March, so this is perfect. And the one that I have on my cart and also my Kindle is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I've been wanting to read this for so long, but I knew I kind of wanted to wait until the paperback came out, and now that it is out, I'm reading on my Kindle anyway, but now that it is out, I wanted to get it. I'm so excited for this. I have adored pretty much all of the Riley Sager books that I have ever read, and I've had this one is one of his best. This one came out last year. So many people were raving about it. I've been dying to read it, so I literally cannot wait. So for a book on my Kindle, I am going to read this on my Kindle. We're going to go for The Only One Left by Riley Sager. And with that, these are the books that my TBR jar chose for me to read in March. I feel like more so than ever, we have such a range of genres. We literally have thrillers, fantasies, classics, literary fiction, translated fiction. I'm terrified, but also kind of excited. So yeah, these are the 10 books that I'm going to have to try and read in March. Let me know if you have read any of them, what your thoughts were, whether you liked them or you disliked them, which one you think I should start with. I would love to know. As always, if you did enjoy this video and you are not yet subscribed, it would mean the world if you did consider doing so. We have so much fun over here and I would love to have you here. Please don't forget to leave it a massive thumbs up again if you did enjoy it. I really appreciate it, but it also really helps my channel out. And yeah guys, thank you so much for watching and for spending some time with me. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very, very soon with another video.